I think of all the places in Idaho that feature Greek architecture. There are a few out there. There's the columns at the Capitol building. A couple of buildings in downtown Boise have some of those ornaments. And there's an amphitheater at the College of Idaho, to just name a few. A couple people sent in some suggestions today naming the Capitol building of those teases that we showed you, and even Boise High School. But today's Where It's At takes us to eastern Idaho. Do you recognize those columns? If you've been to the campus of Idaho State University in Pocatello, you've likely seen them. But maybe you don't know why they're there, just sitting atop Red Hill, a big part of being a Bengal. It's not as classical of a story as you might expect. Towering over Idaho State University, just above the giant orange eye, are the literal pillars of the Pocatello campus. 4 iconic, ionic Greek columns that one could be convinced once stood for something sort of symbolic. I mean, one could imagine by reading the ISU New Student Orientation webpage, the 3 connected columns represented students while in college, supported by friends and classmates. The 4th standalone structure represented the student after graduation, ready to exert their ISU education on the real world. Yeah, not so much. The real story of the Red Hill Pillars is a little less embellished. They began fastened to the front of a funeral home. McCann's Funeral Home, to be exact, the oldest in Pocatello, which started in 1916. Those pillars stood in place until 1966, when owner Jack Henderson wanted to relocate, and he donated the pillars to the university. There, they sat in storage for 5 years, until the Alumni Association decided to drag them up Red Hill.
Hello everyone, my name is Ty Hobson. Sorry. Hello everyone, my name is Ty Hobson. This spring I'll be graduating cum laude with a bachelor's degree in both history and marketing.
Ty's connection to the columns is stronger than school spirit.
So I came up here to the top of Red Hill today to present in front of these pillars because my grandfather built them many years ago, and that story has always filled me with an immense sense of pride in this school.
Ty said growing up, he'd always heard the story about his great-grandfather,
William Sheldon Lish,
who was kind of a handyman.
He grew up during the Great Depression, and so he was a carpenter but had done so much in his life, building houses, anything, construction wise. I think that just putting up the pillars was something that he fell into, like many of the things he did, just because he was handy.
A story he shared during his graduation speech.
My grandfather passed the year I started at ISU, but his spirit has given me the encouragement I needed to make it here today. His work ethic inspired me to persevere. His story has shaped my own unique form of Bengal pride.
It's got to be pretty special for you, though, to hike up there and stand next to these pillars that your great-grandfather helped build, and you being the first to graduate.
Yeah, it was cool. It's like the most poignant thing when you're there, and I think it's a cool symbol to help everybody feel good about what they're doing there. My grandfather, he had very important words to him, were scatter sunshine, and when you look up at the pillars, there's always some beautiful sun beams coming through them. I think that is kind of his lasting legacy, scattering positivity all over the world.
Ty's grandfather passed away in 2015. The pillars are kind of a rite of passage for students at ISU. It's tradition for new students to make their hike up Red Hill, the trail, for their first year picture. Then there's the homecoming tradition of hiking to the pillars just before midnight to become a true Bengal. Then at midnight, maybe you share a kiss with a significant other, becoming each other's true Bengal, if you get my drift. Or maybe just because sunsets are pretty cool from the columns. It's a good reason to go up there. Either way, the pillars are where it's at Idaho State University.